Perfect.
Shoot.
Nice, nice. Everybody good?
Doing just
I'm
fine.
good. Been good.
All right, perfect. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Mission 3 podcast, Play Legit's premier transmission for gaming and real talk. We are your hosts, Corey, Elijah, KJ, and Haggy. What's up, guys? How you doing tonight?
I'm excellent, man. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm living
Doing all
life,
right.
man. Living life. Glad you guys are doing good. Glad you guys are doing good. It was an action-packed weekend yet again. It's summertime, so there's always a bunch of stuff going down every weekend. But we're coming off of SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con, just happened last weekend. There's tons to talk about. Of course, Mission 3, we're going to be dealing with all of that. But we're also going to be talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ, Dragon Ball FighterZ, however you guys want to pronounce it out there, as well as games
Fighters.
that...
Fighters.
It's like people don't like the name Dragon Ball Super, so they keep on going back to the Z for some reason. It is what it is. I don't know if you guys saw. There's this guy that's trending on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff right now. But he did like a recap video, or it wasn't even a recap video, but he did a video about the 100th episode of Dragon Ball Super. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna call it Dragon Ball Z because Dragon Ball Super is just a weak ass name." So, I mean, it is what it is. It's a very funny video, though. If I knew his name, I'd tell you guys to go follow him on social medias and all that stuff. But I can't think of it right now. But I'm sure you'll see it in your timeline because I just talked about it and now I'm in your cookies. So it'll pop up. Don't worry about it, guys. But before we get into today's missions, let's go ahead and make sure you guys check out playlegit.net because that is going to be the location where you're going to find everything real, everything gaming, and everything legit. Playlegit.net. We have a ton of articles up on the website. You always want to stop by, check out what's new up there. You're going to find the Mission 3 podcast up there. You're going to find original content always. You're going to find our reviews, our video game reviews. You're going to find even original content that comes from Play Legit. The team's working on a pilot right now, so I'm sure eventually down the line you will see maybe even like a Play Legit style Netflix or something like that with all of the cool series that we have. I know I'm dreaming big. Things will happen as long as you put them out in the universe and it'll get there, right? So make sure you guys stop by there. Right now we have a very, very, very dope review that we want you guys to check out. It's by our very own Derek Haggy here, Mission 3 Brethren here. He does a tabletop review of a Game of Thrones, the second edition.
Winner party, winner party. It's
Perfect for the times, man.
Yeah.
Perfect for the times. Game of Thrones just got back on. Second episode of season 7 just happened yesterday, which was if you guys watch Game of Thrones, it was a very, very cool episode. But make sure you check out Haggy's review. Like I said, we do all different types of gaming here on Play Legit. This is going to be a tabletop review. See how the Game of Thrones tabletop game is. I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you have a few words for the people, maybe if you want to just give them a little insight, Haggy.
There are a few experiences in my tabletop experience where you get your friends to become more conniving than Game of Thrones. The amount of backstabbing and the pain from every betrayal is just intense. It sucks, and that's why it's good.
That's great, man. And, you got to kind of be a little conniving if you want to sit up on that Iron Throne. It's just the concept of the show and the book, so I'm glad to see that, transfers over into the game. Make sure you guys check out Haggy's review. He always puts in a bunch of work for us. We definitely appreciate Haggy, and we appreciate you guys out there checking out the articles. So make sure you check that out, as well as Mo Chocolate has his thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 3. We all heard my thoughts on Kingdom Hearts last week.
Hater.
You might, check out.
I'll stand with you, Corey.
Check out a perspective. I appreciate that, Haggy. Check out the perspective of a guy that, definitely thoroughly enjoys Kingdom Hearts, has several keyblades, and will fight to the death if anyone talks down on his favorite series. I don't know if that's even really true. He didn't threaten my life or anything like that before everybody out there thinks Mo's like a serial killer or something like that. Definitely not true. But he is very, very passionate about Kingdom Hearts, especially Kingdom Hearts 3. He's been waiting forever for it. So check out his thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 3, as well as his other thoughts post D23, the Disney conference that he actually attended and got to see everything live for. So make sure you check that out, as well as all the other amazing content that we have up on playlegit.net. And make sure you also follow us on Twitter at PlayLegit and at Mission 3 Podcast, because that's how you can vote in the poll every single week. The second mission every week is always going to be the agent requested mission. And that mission will always give you an option, about 3 options. Sometimes, hey, maybe one week we'll switch it up. We'll give you 5 options just to throw a wrench in the whole thing. But typically it's 3 questions. Well, 3 options that you get to vote on. Whichever wins, that's going to be the second mission. Today, it's games that we want remade. And when I say remade, I'm not talking about games that we want continuations of. Otherwise, I'd be screaming Skate 4. These are games that we want remade. So a game that's going to be the same game, just like they're doing with Final Fantasy VII, just like they did with Crash Bandicoot, except no continuation, just remade. Yeah, I don't know why I said except, but we're going to get into that. That's the second mission, but if you guys are ready, we can go ahead and get into the first one and get the show on the road here.
I'm ready, man.
Let's do this.
All right. Well, the first mission is going to be characters that we want to see in Dragon Ball FighterZ, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Dragon Ball FighterZ, whatever you guys want to call it. But it's gonna be the characters that we want to see in there. So we can go ahead and get on into this. Mission starts now.
Well, my list is not necessarily characters that are like my favorite, but I like them very much. But the reason why I picked my 3, I only picked 3, my bad on that. But the reason I picked them is because when you're making a fighting game, you have different types of characters. Obviously, Piccolo was announced, and he has stretching arms, so he's going to be like the Dalzim of the game with stretchable arms and whatnot. But I picked characters that offer different abilities to the game that would help keep the fighting fresh, because if you have like a whole roster full of Super Saiyans, it's going to be awesome, but just not quite as exciting. So it's good to have characters like I'm going to say next. I have Dabura. He was the demon lord. I picked him is just because he's kind of a nasty looking dude anyway, and he's evil, and you need evil characters to balance it out. He also has that, if you remember, that ability where he can spit on someone and they turn into stone. So in my head, I thought, could you imagine if you're like getting someone in a combo, then you immediately spit on them, and we know that you can bring in other characters and do your super moves. So putting somebody into stone and then setting them up for your super move, I could see that happening a whole lot in this game, and I think that'd be really cool. And my second choice would be or Dr. Gero, however you want to slice it. This android, though he's not the most powerful, in a fighting game like this, they're going to keep everybody pretty leveled out, I would imagine, from people. And there's been plenty of fighting games where, they may not take a whole lot of energy from you, but there's some games where they can take some type of energy from you and restore their own life. So I figure to have a character like that, this game borrows very much from Marvel vs. Capcom, just calling it like it is. And so to have a character like that, I think would be really cool. Just an energy draining character type. Plus, it'd be kind of like, oh, Dr. Gero, cool. You get to see a kick-ass old man. So,
right.
And my third pick would be from Dragon Ball Super, and it's Hit. I've really grown to like this character a whole lot. I just like the way he carries himself, very calculated, assassin, and his world is just very different. I think I would like to have a stage that was set on one of the worlds that he was in. It was like Blade Runner, one of these planets that he was committing to hit on. And so let's get that stage going. But the reason why I picked him is because he has the time skip ability. So if someone's shooting you with a projectile, let's say he could turn on his time skip ability and just immediately get around attacks. So he could be that type of defensive character. Maybe not the strongest on out of all these guys we have, but he could get out of a lot of bad situations. So those are my picks.
Yeah, like even like a time skip tag in, because it is kind of like you said, it's like Marvel vs. Capcom, so you can tag in your partner. Say you're about to get destroyed, you're at the end of your life, time skip, switch places, something like that. You know, kind of to take some of the damage. That'd be kind of cool. You have anybody, Haggy?
Well, I mean, it's been forever since I played Dragon Ball. Or, no, seen anything Dragon Ball related. Although I was happy that I recognized most of the characters you said. So that's a plus. Characters I would like to see in this game, though. And I don't know if this is for any fights in particular, just for filler or for training purposes. I think Hercule would be a good choice. The guy who thinks he's super powerful and, you know, always up for a fight. Be a pretty good way to get people to learn how to punch properly. What I think, anyway.
The greatest fighter of all time, the defender of the earth.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I apologize. He is our hero. He is the strong. They might as well just call it Hercule Z. Everyone else doesn't matter.
Right.
As far as anyone else, though, you guys have kind of hit it on the head. I wouldn't have anyone else to add.
So I would throw in
no captain characters.
Maybe Captain Genyu. I don't know.
Some poses, the pose master.
Well, yeah, you gotta have the pose master. Although I'm just trying to think which one is the most erotic. I don't know. Just put them all in and we'll get on with it.
Right, yeah. Just give us the whole Ginyu Force. Even Jace, even though, you know, he runs away.
Yeah. Especially Jace.
So I would say... So I picked 5. So I'm going with, first off top, because of the type of game this is, I'm going with Master Roshi. Because he has so many techniques, so many styles. He can freeze you up with the electricity. Of course, he perfected the Kamehameha. I mean, he's just a man of many techniques. I feel like he would be a good character. Plus, he's seen so much. He has so much experience. And since it's a tag game, I feel like it would fit, especially with, like, you know, because there's a lot of Saiyans. We got Frieza, we have Cell. There's these super powered characters in here. But then they show us Krillin. So we know Krillin's going to be in the game. So if Krillin can be in here, why not Master Roshi? He has more techniques than Krillin, more experience than Krillin, and a different fighting style than Krillin. And he also has the turtle shell. He could, you know, maybe they can incorporate, you know, the turtle shell or something in there too. But I think Master Roshi would definitely be a good one, especially because they do have a lot of transformations in this one. Krillin doesn't have any transformation, but Roshi has a transformation. He has the buff Roshi transformation, so you can always throw that in there as well. And he's, you know, he tends to hold his own. So I'd like to see Roshi in there. Second, I'm gonna do a nod to Dragon Ball Super, the Universe Survival arc that's happening now. A character that I'm honestly thoroughly enjoying. I didn't know how much I would enjoy her, but it's a female Saiyan, and this is because it's to be fair for everyone out there. I got you ladies out there. We need, you know, some females in the game. I'm sure they'll probably have Android 18, but we need more than one. So why not throw Kawafla in there as well? She can go Super Saiyan. Hey, she can even go Super Saiyan 2 apparently, and I'm sure she'll learn how to go Super Saiyan Blue before the arc's over, because apparently there's a Super Saiyan bargain sale going on. But it would be nice to have her in there. She has
everybody can do it.
Everybody. It's the tingle on your back. You just have to feel the tingle on your
Corey.
back.
Y'all should see me. I can do it. I'll do it after the show. I'll show y'all.
I choose not to go Super Saiyan, because otherwise this gets really long and in my face as it starts going upwards. It's like impossible.
So I think it would be really cool to have her in there, just because, like I said, switch it up, and it would be kind of cool to see how they would kind of manipulate her fighting style, because we haven't really seen much of her, And I don't know if we'll even see her again after this arc, because apparently all of the universes are going to be destroyed, unless they get wished back. Cross your fingers, right? But yeah, I think it would be really cool to have her in there. Also, Goku Black. We gotta have Goku Black in there. I would say Zamasu, but Zamasu's not really strong. Goku Black, it's kind of like merging like Goku, of course, but Vegito, because they have the saber hand. I think it would be cool. It's Goku, but he has a whole completely different fighting style, and it would look really cool in this game to see just Goku Black with the rose aura, the rose, hair. It would be really cool to see him. Also,
and it would be hella easy for them to do.
Yeah, exactly. Might as well unpaid DLC. Come on, why not? Also, I want to see Beerus.
Just color swap. That's it.
Yeah, can we get a Beerus? Can we see Beerus in here as well? I think it would be awesome to see the God of Destruction. I'm going really, really Dragon Ball Super right now. I apologize to everybody out there that hates the series, but it's better than GT. So, Siri, I did not ask for you. I said serious. But anyways, also, other than Beerus, because we're getting kind of low on time here, Beerus, you needed God of Destruction. It would be really, really cool. Reskin him with Champa or something too, since they're twins. And finally, because every fighting game, shouts out to KJ, every fighting game needs a Dan, we need to throw Yamcha in Dragon Ball FighterZ, because I don't understand why he doesn't get no love, man. He has the Wolfgang Fist. He actually has techniques that you could use, and I honestly like Yamcha more than Tien. Even though Tien is a boss, I like Yamcha more, and the Wolfgang Fist is super awesome, and Yamcha just looks cool, so throw Yamcha in there. I'll have him be the third man or the second man in my party any day.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll let it go if we get him in his baseball costume.
Woo!
That would be funny.
Yeah, that would be sick. Why not? You can do it, guys.
Oh, I got 2. Android 17 and 18. There it is. I got my 5. We good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, looks like we just made it, guys. Mission 1 is complete. Dragon Ball FighterZ, the characters that we want to see in the game. There are so many people, really, literally, to choose from. I was kind of trying to pick people that would be more realistically in the game, even though there are other characters you could clearly say that more than likely are going to be in the game. I honestly feel like Tien will be in the game. I feel like... actually, I don't think anybody else that I picked would necessarily be guaranteed, but I'm hoping we get a nice variety. I don't think there's going to be too many characters. If I could do like a nice group of 30 characters or something like that, I'd be satisfied with that. But we'll see. It's supposed to come out early 2018. Let us know what you guys think. Who do you want to see in Dragon Ball FighterZ? Tweet at us at Mission 3 Podcast on Twitter. Tweet at us. Let us know who you want to see in Dragon Ball FighterZ. But yeah, let's move on to the next one, guys.
Well, actually, before we do that, I wanted to tell people that for those of you who can't wait, if you're like me and you just cannot wait to play this game, going to be a beta coming soon. And as soon as we have more information, we will tell you about that and how you can get yourself into the beta so you can get your hands on this game a little bit. And one other thing is, there is a homebrew game called Hyper Dragon Ball Z. It's in 2D, but it has a fast pace, maybe not quite as fast as this, but it's still very fast paced, and the sprites are very well drawn. It's like if Capcom made this when coming with the fighting games in the early 90s, it plays and looks like something from that era that you would have played in the arcade. I highly recommend it, and it's free. So Hyper Dragon Ball Z, something to keep you occupied, and we will also have information on the beta for Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Oh yeah. So make sure you tune in to playlegit.net, because that's where you're going to get all of that info right on the site, and tune into the Mission 3 podcast, because we'll be talking about these things as we get more information on them as well. So you guys ready to get into the second mission?
Yes, sir.
You betcha.
All right. Well, we're going to be going in on games that we would like to see remade. And I mean, Haggy, if you'd like, you can start us off.
All right. Mission start yet?
Mission starts now.
Right on. Game I'd like to see remade is a little game. Didn't really get much traction. It was from a company called Media Mobsters and produced by Whiptail Interactive. It's a game called, let's see if I can get that in there, Gangland. It's a bit of a violent title, I know, but the reason why I was interested in it and the reason why I had fun with it is it's basic. Oh, yeah? All right. It's basically, they attempted to make an RTS with elements from Grand Theft Auto. I thought that was just an interesting idea. Basically, you would be a criminal boss running your own little gang, right, trying to make yourself a criminal empire while all the other players are doing the exact same thing. Then it's just a matter of whoever is left standing. It was all right game. Clunky as hell. Crashed every 10 minutes. And just the theming was a little off. Like, you'd have these people with, like, classic, like, Tommy guns or whatever, and it's like, okay, classic mobsters, but then they'll be driving freaking Lambos or, like, Humvees, which I don't think were really around at the time when people were still using Tommy guns. I don't know. There's also a katana, like a ninja, a bodyguard with a giant afro. It was just weird.
So it was just
But I hope they
like
remake it.
a smorgasbord of gangsters. Not just like the mob or something. It's just like
Past and present.
that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, if they like just went full bonkers with it, I think that would have actually been one of the best themes of all time. But no, they pulled a half measure, and that just doesn't work.
It was cheesy but serious at the same time.
Exactly. If it was just full on cheese, I'd still be playing it.
So we need that remade and then go all the way to the left or go all the way to the right with it.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah, it seems actually like a pretty cool concept though. Is it online?
Well, sort of. You have to do it through LAN, but with like stuff like Evolve or whatever, you can still do it online.
Nice.
Last I checked, it was working, but I also remember there were some port issues. So it is on GOG for like $10 right now, though. So
Hey,
by all means, I'd recommend.
that's what's up. What else we got, guys? Do you want me to jump in?
By all means.
All right, so I'll go. Let's start off with my list. First off, I want to give a big bow to Akira Toriyama for drawing the artwork for this game. Some may hail this the greatest RPG ever to be made. Some might even say it's the greatest game ever to be made. I wouldn't, maybe argue it, but I wouldn't argue that hard against it because I love it so dearly. And that game is Chrono Trigger. If you can see it on the screen, if you're watching this live, if you're listening back to the audio, go look at the artwork of Chrono Trigger. It was all done by Akira Toriyama. I feel this game, I'm surprised it hasn't been remade. I know there was like fans that were trying to actually remake it themselves, but this game needs to be remade by Square Enix. I always hate having to say Square Enix just because I love Squaresoft so much for all the great titles that they gave us in the 90s, like Chrono Trigger. The story is amazing. The artwork is amazing. The sprites that were in the original game were amazing. The summons are great. All of the weapons that are in the game are great. It would only make sense to bring this back bigger and better than ever. I'm not saying change the story because the story is fantastic. It's one of the things that keeps you playing the game is the storyline and just the different timelines and the different parts in time where you have to go and change things and how affecting the timeline will affect your character. All these different things. I feel if they were to bring this back and not actually make it 3D, maybe cell shaded, or even maybe in like the vein of Dragon Ball FighterZ, where it's 2D but it's 3D and 2D, but actually use the characters drawn by Akira Toriyama in the game. I feel like it would be great. I feel like it would win awards, and I want to see Magus literally like Magus in the game. It would just be it would be super dope. There's so many great summons. Lavos at the end, it would be crazy to see updated, remade in the fashion of a title today. So I'm going with Chrono Trigger off top. Secondly, I'm gonna have to go with a game that I've mentioned before on the podcast here, Legend of Legaia. It's a sleeper. A lot of people actually weren't aware of the game for some reason. It was made by the same people that created Wild Arms. It was literally one of my favorite games back in the day. Just it was original how the fighting system was. It was very boxy because it came out on the PlayStation. So I feel like with the storyline, just what they did with the game on the PlayStation, if it was on the PS4, even the PS5, because there's those rumors, I don't think they're true, but to see it on a next gen title, just remade with the levels, the concept, everything that they had from the original game, it would just be completely amazing. I think it would be fantastic, especially because all of your equipment that in that game, it would change on the PlayStation version. So it would just be great to play an RPG where you can change your equipment. Your equipment would change, but it'd still be, that classic RPG feel, but updated and even more amazing. And the fighting style, I think it would be super dope too, just because you get your gauge that fills up. As you level up, your gauge gets longer and longer and longer, so you end up doing these just massive combos of special attacks and things like that, and it would just be great to see that live and remade in this 4K quality, this HDR quality. And then the last title that I came up with, because I don't want to use up too much time, and I have like 3 minutes left, is going to be Xenogears.
Hey.
Xenogears, I want them to remake Xenogears, just because, I'm not sure of Xenoblade Chronicles, if that is a part of the whole Xenogears, Xenosaga continuity or not. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. But Xenogears is literally a fantastic game. And if they were to remake this, it would open up the door for them to do prequels for it, as well as a sequel to Xenogears itself. Just because this game, for some reason, if you beat the game right at the end, it tells you that it's chapter 5 that you complete. So it was kind of weird because it was the first game of the continuity, but it's the 5th installment, so they could always end up going back if it does good. The storyline is amazing. The the sprites that were used in the game were great. It was on PlayStation, but they still used sprites. Again, this is from Square. This game actually originally was pitched as Final Fantasy VII, but they ended up making it Xenogears. So Final Fantasy VII, think about that. This game was pitched as Final Fantasy VII. They didn't use it, but they didn't use it as Final Fantasy VII, but it was so good they had to make it into a game. Of course, they should be remaking this because they're remaking Final Fantasy VII, and I will argue that the storyline in this game might even be better than Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy VII is literally top 3 of games of all time, in my opinion. So
I don't know. I think it's a bit overrated.
The storyline of Final Fantasy VII is what gets me. And
Peggy, you shut your mouth.
It's the humanity of the storyline. The humanity of storyline. But there's only a minute left, so I'm gonna let KJ get something off. Sorry, man. Use it all the time.
All right, well, I'm gonna tell you right now that that's a mission failure. We failed mission 2 because I got a lot to say. So, first off, one of my favorite. I'm a big beat 'em up fan. I love beat 'em ups because they bring me and my friends together. And Rockstar is my favorite modern gaming company right now. And what they did was they took one of my favorite movies of all time, and scrolling beat 'em up. Well, not side scrolling. Well, actually, there's a mode you can unlock that makes it a side scrolling beat 'em up. So yeah, I want to show y'all the game, The Warriors. I don't know if you guys have played it. The movie, but the game does justice to the movie. It actually takes place before the movie. So they went in and made up and added. I'm
That's
gonna
rough.
keep going. I hear that alarm. I don't care. I'm gonna keep going. The game, most of it is a prequel, and they had to add all these characters, all these extra areas, all this extra music that wasn't there, but yet it felt like it belonged in a movie from the 70s. And the way that it builds and transitions eventually towards the end, it transitions into the game you remember, or excuse me, into the movie you remember from the 70s. And the way it smoothly transitions from made up prequel stuff to the movie, it's fantastic. The gameplay combat is just fun, it's deep, it's brutal. You can loot stores, you get into fights with massive gangs, lots of people on screen. But the graphics kind of took a little bit of a hit, but you didn't mind because Rockstar was able to put so many guys on screen. There's a survival mode where you're literally running from the baseball furies, and I swear there's like at least 20 people on screen, and you are by yourself, and it's a survival mode just trying to outlast. We have a double dragon mode in there also, and it's just modes like that. There's a versus mode, modes on top of modes. If it came out today, the DLC will be ridiculous. And so what I want is to just take everything that they did with the Warriors and just give me some hot graphics with it. That's what I want. And what I also want is they did a great job with Wipeout, bringing back Wipeout on the PS4. That's been getting some rave reviews. So let's keep the racers coming with Jet Moto. I want Jet Moto. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but I'm just going to hold it up for a little bit.
Yo.
We can sort of get
Jet
it. Yeah.
Moto, with the shiny graphics we have now, the online, with the Mountain Dew sponsorship, keep all that.
Facts.
Bring all that back, bro. Add even more sponsorships, because it actually makes it brings me more into the game, makes it feel more authentic and whatnot.
Oh wow.
My next game is Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. We know that NetherRealm Studios likes to venture off. When they make Mortal Kombat, they like to take a pause and give you something else. That's how we have Injustice, because they like to take a little time out from Mortal Kombat, give us that. So on your next Mortal Kombat timeout, which I guess would be right now, let's get either, okay, I'm cheating. I would like a sequel to Shaolin Monks, but I also a remake of Shaolin Monks as well, with online. The gameplay is super good. It holds up very well. I played it recently. Let's have that going. And my final thing here, guys, is another movie tie-in and another beat 'em up. And it's one of my favorite beat 'em ups ever. And in my top 5 favorite movie tie-ins. Arguably my first, if Rick wasn't around. Rick is probably my number 1. Return of the King. Made by EA. It was 2-player co-op. Plenty of characters that you could fight as. Plenty of characters you could fight against. I didn't think it was going to be good because, a lot of these are garbage. But it wasn't garbage at all. It was a lot of fun. Had a really good fighting system in it. The graphics really don't look too bad. I mean, obviously, you can't compare it to what we have now. But I think they did really good for the most part from what they had back in the day.
Yeah, watching the gameplay,
If you can get your hands on this, yeah.
I actually remember
real
playing
smooth.
the crap out of the demo for it. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's real good, man. And they start you off with what you're seeing right now is actually the opening of the game. You're playing as Gandalf, just super powerful. Obviously, they're not letting you do that through the whole game, or else it would be broken. But they give you, it's like Samus when you first start off. She has all her stuff, and they're like, "Uh-oh, we're taking it from you. Sorry." They do the same thing, but they made it fun playing as Frodo. Okay, the game it's fun playing as Frodo in this game as well. So this is a strong recommendation. I have it sitting here. I'm not just talking about it. I got it, and I live that. Got it right here, and I also have the Warriors, which is probably one of my favorite handheld ports. They didn't lose anything in the translation. This stuff I want to see remade. I'd buy all of it day one, and I want it right now.
Right on.
That's what's up. Well, we
Mission field. I'm sorry.
We clearly failed the mission, but it's okay because it was a fun mission. We got it, there was a lot of games out there, and this I actually thought because we had the option of games we want remade, games we don't want remade, and then we were gonna have a live review. And I personally picked games we wanted remade because I thought it would be easier than games we didn't want remade, and then I ended up wanting to, kick myself in the butt because I was like, man, why is this so hard to think of a game that I want remade that hasn't already been remade, that's not current, like that's where the struggle for me came in. I was like, all right, well, what do I really like that could be remade or doesn't have like a sequel on the way, stuff like that. So it was definitely a difficult mission. And that's why we failed it, guys, because once you find that title, it's like, all right, well, I want to say everything I want to say about this because it took a little bit for me to actually figure out a game. So that was great. So yeah, as long as we finish this last mission here, mission 3, we'll successfully complete tonight's broadcast. If we fail this last mission, then we fail you out there in the social media world, the interwebs out there. So we're gonna do our best not to fail you guys. We're gonna get into the third and final mission now for you, and that mission is going to be, and we should easily complete this one because we should be able to stop at any time we'd like to, because this is SDCC talk. Yes, San Diego Comic-Con talk. We're just going to talk about what we saw, what we liked from San Diego Comic-Con, the trailers that were released, all this, sneak peeks, all that cool stuff. So let's go ahead and get into the third and final mission of tonight's broadcast. Crazy how we're already at the last mission. Mission starts now. So first off, there was a bunch of trailers that came out. My personal favorite, I'm playing the trailer right now for you guys, the Justice League trailer. I'm just gonna go out on a whim and say the Justice League looks freaking amazing. I think it's gonna be great.
Wowzers!
Honestly, it looks way better than I thought it was going to. The way they put the trailer together, it made you want to see I wish I could go see the movie tomorrow. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's going to be a few more months before it actually comes out. I believe it comes out in the beginning of November. But it looked great. It starts off the trailer. We're looking into Diana's life, Wonder Woman's life a little bit more. We get to see, kind of what's going on. Apparently this is going to take place right after Batman v Superman. So Superman's dead now. Batman's kind of gone. And a mother box opens up and a whole bunch of hell is about to break loose. And it's up to the team to save the day, man. And it looks fantastic. From the clips we saw, we get to see Ezra Miller in action as the Flash. We get to see Cyborg. It looks great, man. It looks great.
You said, I was blown away, man, big time. And I think another thing that stood out to me was Aquaman. I was never a big fan of Aquaman whatsoever. I grew up watching Super Friends, so that's kind of the version of Aquaman I've had in my mind this whole time. Mm. So it's good to have someone like Jason Momoa. Basically, I kind of started thinking more of Aquaman after the first Injustice game because they had him just doing all kinds of work in that story mode. And I was like, all right, I'm starting to be an Aquaman believer. Like they played Injustice. Because what I'm seeing is so gangster, so real. Go ahead, Haggy.
I think you guys are falling into the DC trap again.
Ooh.
I'm skeptical.
No, I believe me, I feel you. That's like going into it, I was like, because the first trailer that came out, I was like, looks cool. Aquaman riding on the Batmobile, what's that about? Looks cool, but what's that all about? But
totally,
just the way they set the trailer up, it gives you can tell that Josh Whedon he took it and now it's like he's like, all right, well, we're gonna change. They're doing a bunch of reshoots. I feel like the tone is going to be, it's gonna match the trailer more than what happened with Batman v Superman, where it's like, oh man, this trailer looks super dope. Then you watch the movie, you're like, what the hell is this? What the hell just happened? So I don't know.
Yeah.
We shall see, though. You'll never know until you actually see it. But Wonder Woman was good. So hopefully Batman v Superman was the last mistake, and they'll take it where they should be taking it. So they were throwing a lot.
I mean, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they were throwing a lot of shade on Marvel at their SDCC panel that they had. So hopefully they will live up to all of the shit talking that they were doing.
Well, what I gotta say too is they shouldn't fully give in to the people wanting that lighthearted stuff, you know. But still, have some jokes in there, because I mean, when you got a bunch of people that are working as a team, there's gonna be camaraderie. I mean, that's just natural in any workplace. There's gonna be some camaraderie. So let's have some funny jokes, and it looks like we got the Flash being silly and saying some funny stuff. So definitely have that, but you don't have to overdo it just to appease these guys, but have a little bit. It's cool to have one group of movies that are, and one group that's darker. I'm a man that likes to watch everything. I'm not loyal to either side of these. So I'm here to enjoy it. I wish all this stuff was coming out when I was a kid, man. I'm jealous of these kids coming up. Every few months they got something hot like this. Look, I come from a time where we didn't know what we were going to get. We'll get Batman and Robin. Some trash like that, and then we're waiting for years for some more trash.
So you're gonna put them in the
movies.
They put him in the Nightwing suit, but they're not gonna call him Nightwing. That's the crap we grew up with. So I feel you, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. So it's a blessing to see stuff like this. People, Hollywood taking it serious, because when you take it serious, you get that serious paper, and that's what we're seeing right now at Comic-Con.
Right. What about let's switch to maybe Ready Player One. What do you guys feel about that?
Oh, can I go ahead and who wants to, Haggy, you or me? Because you know what I'm about to talk about.
Hey, by all means, you go ahead. You're probably just going to say all the stuff I'm going to say. It just looks great.
Tell you something. Yeah, it looks great. And Derek and I reside in the great state of Ohio and in the fantastic city of Columbus. That's where Play Legit, the central hub, is in Columbus, Ohio. And guess where the movie takes place in? Columbus, Ohio.
Oh,
that's
wow.
right. And so, yeah, that's exactly it. Takes place there.
Where's that Play Legit cameo, though? Let's just say it now.
I'm in there.
Hey, give us that Play Legit cameo. You hear us now. You hear us.
Yeah,
so
that's what it needs to happen. We represent Columbus, Ohio. We represent everybody, man. All the gamers, everybody real. But it's just, this really blew me away. I didn't expect it to be on this level. I really didn't, and shame on me, but vibes of Tron, but it still feels like its own vibe. Some of the game worlds that he's jumping into, man, it looks incredible. And you really get a scope of what's going on. You realize that the actual world, something catastrophic happened, and it's the best. So this is a nice escapism for everybody to just put on their headset and get into the world and just away from the trash that's happening around them. I'm not sure if Coach will look like that in the future. I hope not, but I do like that it's happening in Columbus, Ohio. I can't be more hyped for Ready Player One. And Steven Spielberg, let me tell you something. When you're doing the premiere, you filmed it in Columbus, it takes place in Columbus, have the premiere in Columbus, Ohio. Just makes sense to me.
That'd be pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, that would be sick. Yeah, it looks great, man. It does look like it's going to be a good game. I'm glad to see that it actually blew up. I mean, the book definitely blew up. I mean, I remember I received it in a loot crate. Definitely was a good book. So I'm glad to see that they're actually adopting it and bringing it to the big screen and actually giving it justice. But I mean, it's Steven Spielberg. How could it be bad if you got Spielberg behind the lens? But I'm excited for it. I definitely was on the fence before I saw the trailer, and then I saw the trailer and I was like, oh well, that looks amazing. That's what's up. They're actually doing it right. So
Definitely. Yeah, that's all the points I want to go on Ready Player One. What about you guys? Ready to move on?
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
move
Another
on.
movie I'd like to
I'm just
at least
psyched
bring
for
up.
it. We only got a couple minutes left. So what about The Walking Dead? You guys fans of The Walking Dead?
I'm a fan of Negan, man. I really like Jeffrey Dean Morgan's performance. I
That's-
thought that season, if he hadn't have been in there, that season would have just been really, really lackluster. But I think that he lifted up that season. His performance was fantastic. He just played a good villain. You want to see him. You want to see him lose. I regardless of what I think, people are going to watch it, and so I mean they know what's up at this point. It's Walking Dead season 8. If you don't know what you're getting into at this point, something's wrong with you. Get yourself looked at. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, it's season 8, but it's almost like it's season 2 as well, which is really cool. We're getting into all out war. It starts the trailer off. You see Gabriel, and apparently Gabriel, he's with Negan, or he's not with Negan, but he's with Negan. He's captured by Negan. It's looking like, and Negan says, "Hey, you're about to shit yourself." So I don't know if Negan's about to hand him over to Lucille or what's about to happen, but there's walkers in the background and all that too. But the trailer looks dope. This whole season is supposed to be all out war. You see everybody, doing their thing. You see Daryl on his motorcycle. You see Michonne with Rosita. I mean, it's supposed to go down. I hope it goes down. We will see when the season starts. So this fall should be good. Other than that, though, there's a bunch of other stuff that happened. I mean, we got some insight on The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow. Doctor Who had a panel. I mean, there's a bunch that went down at San Diego Comic-Con. Make sure you guys hit up online and go check out all of the different trailers and stuff that was released. There's tons of stuff for you guys to look into. But
I heard Black Panther got a standing O from what they show.
yes,
For what they shown.
yes, sir. Black Panther, man. And can I just say, I am so damn proud of Marvel actually making this film. And I watched the panel that they had, and every actor that is on the film seems so grateful to be in the film, and they seem very just so appreciative, and there's a lot of people, even like Denai Guerrera. I always say her. I'm probably gonna say her last name wrong. Denai Guerrera, but she plays Michonne in The Walking Dead. She was just super pumped about being able to play the role, just because of what it represents. Just to go black guy real quick on everybody. I mean, this is the first movie with a 90% black cast. It takes place in Africa, and the people that are in the movie, they're not all thugs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they come from Wakanda. They're on the motherland. They have the best technology. I mean, it's crazy, and it's a film that you can just tell by looking at them and just listening to them talk about the movie. They deeply have a deep appreciation for it, just because I'm sure they've been in dozens of films, and I don't think any of the films have had the impact that Black Panther is gonna have. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
I'm gonna tell to you like this. This is what's happening in February. It's history. Okay, it's gonna be a big event. It's coming out, Black History Month. They did that that was time. That was business plans. I know they did that. They ain't slick, but no, but it is history. This is straight out superhero, not like crooked and killing people and not like that. I mean, he will if he has to, but that's not his main thing. I'm very much looking forward to this. This is history. It's not somebody getting whipped or somebody being a thug. And so I'm very much looking forward to this. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you, Kevin Feige, for making it happen. And also, Hulk looks lit
Oh,
in that
yes.
Thor.
Thor
Yeah.
Ragnarok. Yes, sir.
Thor Ragnarok was lit too. I just want to throw that in there. I'll be seeing that too.
Yeah, I think that's still on the top of trending right now on YouTube too. That trailer, because I mean, there's so many good movies coming. This is so crazy. The MCU they're killing it. We cannot deny that they're killing it. Every movie that has come out in the past, I'll say the past year and a half, 2 years from Marvel, they have all been really, really good. Some films before that, you can say they're good or not. You know, a lot of people love the original Iron Mans. I had people saying the first Avengers movie was really good. I personally couldn't really stand Age of Ultron, but you know, Ant-Man was good. Like, Marvel holds it down for the most part, and they are breaking ground, especially on the silver screen. And I'm just glad to see that, you know, they're not afraid to execute whatever they want to execute when it's coming down to the Infinity War, when it comes down to the Black Panther film, when it comes down to Doctor Strange and all of like the Eastern philosophy and stuff that was in that film. They're just here killing it, man. And I gotta give them, you know, just a round of applause for actually, you know, having the balls to come out, make these types of films that stuff people might not even be able to understand. A lot of the stuff in Doctor Strange, it's like, unless you are like extremely into the metaphysical, you wouldn't even understand. But it's good enough for you. Even if you don't understand the metaphysical, you can still watch the film and still enjoy the film. But if you do know a lot about the metaphysical, Doctor Strange just has you like, oh man, astral projection, all this other stuff. They do their research, and I feel like, I don't know who they're working with, but they just seem to have all of the knowledge in the world. So Marvel, again, hats off to them. Hats off to everybody that showed up at San Diego Comic-Con, presented stuff. There's a whole bunch of dope Ninja Turtle figures that are exclusive and released, and now I gotta figure out a way to get my hands on those as well. So San Diego Comic-Con next year, I have to make it. I was trying to go this year, but things just didn't work out. But I have everything registered, and next year I'm going to be on the ground, guaranteed. Even if I have to go by my freaking self, nice. I will be there. So, just because, I mean, you can't pass up, like, man, you know, like, man, I'm super salty I was not at the Black Panther panel, because that's something that you would have to see in person. But it is what it is. I'm glad that we live in an age where there's the internet and we can still witness all of this stuff anyways. So,
and guys, don't forget, Chocolate has a cameo in the movie, and I'm dead serious. That's serious. He filmed it already. He is an extra in Black Panther. I'm very serious about that. So look out for him. Look out for the afro in February.
Mo Chocolate holding it down. Play legit in Black Panther. That is, we're everywhere. Now they gotta at least let us at the premiere of Ready Player One if we can't get a cameo. You know, gaming website. Hey, I'm sure if they do a premiere in Columbus, I'm sure we could fandangle a way into that. So, I mean, it's a video game movie, video game publication out of Columbus. It only makes sense. So we're gonna make that work. As long as they do it in Columbus, we're gonna make it work somehow. For there's a will, there's a way. But it looks like we successfully completed the broadcast today. We failed the second mission. It's all right, but we got through the other two. Who we want to see in Dragon Ball FighterZ, games we want remade, and our thoughts on San Diego Comic-Con. Definitely was a great broadcast. You guys got anything else to add before we end the show?
The only thing I want to say is I saw Valerian, and it is garbage. Do not see Valerian. It is terrible.
All right. I have one thing I'd like to say before we stop.
What's up?
I still stand by that Final Fantasy VII is overrated.
Oh! Heel Haggy.
Corey, is it?
Heel Haggy.
Is there any way you can unplug him? Unplug Haggy. Like, click on him.
It looks like he dropped the mic, man.
Oh, because he knew it was wrong. He said, let me get out of here. That was bullshit.
People in the comments just like, what do you mean Final Fantasy VII is overrated?
And back.
But Shinra, they're evil. Shinra's like the
But
like
you guys,
it's like the oil companies, except they harvest the life force of the planet. No, but
I just want to tell you guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, send a message to your friends, let them know about the Mission 3 podcast. It's live every single Monday at 10:30. Tell your friends. Let's keep this real talk stretching and growing and moving. Thank you for watching tonight.
Yes, sir.
I'll pass it to you, Corey.
Yes.
Take care.
And if you do want to vote in our poll, just make sure you follow us at Mission 3 Podcast on Twitter. And that way, every week you can vote in our poll and kind of sway where our second mission is going to go. Like I said, we come up with 3 options. If you guys tweet at us options as well, we'll also take that into consideration. We'll get everybody to vote on that, and then you'll see us talk about it here on the broadcast. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. It was a great broadcast tonight. Had a lot of fun talking about these awesome topics that we had here. So make sure you guys hit us up if you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything. You can hit me up directly at Corey Elijah on across the board. You can find KJ at Play Legit across the board, and you can find Haggy at Derek Haggy on Facebook. And then I swear we might even just make a Twitter and then just give him the logins for it. But anyways, I'm glad everybody out there, you guys tune in. We will catch you in the next one. Mission complete. Peace.
Valerian is garbage.
Hot trash.